guys, it's Lorie, and welcome back to my channel. So let's just address the elephant in the room. I did cut my hair. My hair used to be like really in the middle of like my back, like closer to the middle of my back, and I chopped like a lot of it off. And this is when it's straight too, so when it curls, it's gonna be pretty short. I live in Florida and it gets really hot in the spring and summertime, so I just kind of wanted to give myself some relief. But anyway, today I'm going to go over all the books that I got in the month of February. So as I mentioned in a couple of my previous haul videos, I really needed to put myself on like a book buying ban. I was buying a lot of books like every single month, and the amount that I was reading wasn't really equaling up to the amount that I should be buying. And as much as I love buying books, I just want to tone it down a notch. So this month's haul is definitely a lot smaller. I wanted to just not buy any books at all. Like I would have ideally liked to do that, but knowing me, I just couldn't help myself. But it really is a big improvement over the last couple of months because this is a really small haul compared to, of course, you know, my last hauls. So without further ado, let's just get into the books I got in the month of February. So the first book I got is actually A Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And I actually already had a paperback of this book. Actually, I had two copies of this book. I had the paperback version and then I had the ebook. So my husband actually surprised me with this one because I needed to complete my collection over here because I had the paperback in it, and I've mentioned before in a video too, it looked really silly compared to like all the other ones, and I just really wanted to have a hardcover of this book. But he surprised me with, first of all, there were pictures attached of Sarah at a book signing. So there's like a whole bunch of pictures of her here just signing books, hanging out. So I thought that was really cool. And in addition, he also surprised me with the book being signed. So it's a first edition of the book and it is signed by Sarah herself. So that is really exciting. I was really happy to get this. Sarah is definitely one of my favorite authors because I really love the ACOTAR series. That's like one of my favorite series of all time. Throne of Glass isn't really one of my favorite series, but ACOTAR is definitely one of my favorites. So super exciting. The next books that I got this month are actually The Cruel Prince. So this one here is the Al Crate copy of The Cruel Prince, and this one is the Barnes & Noble edition. So when I first got the Al Crate one, I was like, this is amazing. The cover is beautiful. I love the cover of this, and I read this really fast. And I realized that I loved this cover, and I really wanted the extra story that came in here because the Barnes & Noble one does come with a bonus story. So I love this so much that I was like, I really want this. So my husband once again surprised me with the Barnes & Noble edition of The Cruel Prince. This book is amazing. I love this book so much. So I am not even mad that I have two copies of it. The next book that I got this month is actually Batman Nightwalker by Marie Lu. So I couldn't help myself. I saw that Target was doing like a 2 for 3, 3 for 2. I think they had some kind of really good book sale. So when I saw this at Target, I definitely had to get it because I really like superhero stories and I love Marie Lu's writing, and I was just really intrigued by it. Also, I have the Wonder Woman one that was written by Leigh Bardugo. Haven't read that one yet, but I feel like since I already have that one, I might as well get this one, and eventually I'm just probably gonna marathon that one and then this one right after. I don't know, we'll see what happens, but glad that I was able to get this on sale. So the next book that I got is actually also from Target, that Target sale, and that is Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. So this is a compilation of like poetry, and I read one poem out of here when I was like browsing Barnes & Noble, and I was so intrigued because the poem was really interesting, and I feel like I want to branch out in my reading and read more like poetry, more short stories, stuff like that. So since I love the first poem so much out of this one, I was like, let me just grab it, especially since it was on sale at Target. So I got it. I've been meaning to get this too for like a long time, so happy I finally got it. So the next book that I have is actually a book that my friend got for me that he really loved, and that book is The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco. So I haven't read too much about this. I think my friend mentioned that it is about a girl accidentally raising her brother from the dead, and that alone kind of intrigued me because I really love dark stories. I'm pretty about it. Also, this cover is really beautiful. The purple and just the girl, just the skull. It's pretty amazing. The next book that I got this month is actually The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, and this book I actually got in my February Al Crate. This is a special edition of this cover. It's green. I don't know if I like it as much as the original one, which was black, but it's okay. It's okay. And the next two books I actually have are from the same place. My husband and I went out and we were exploring this city and we found this small bookstore. I absolutely love perusing like small bookstores that are like independently owned. I love it, and I especially love supporting them. So the first book that I got from there is actually The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. So I haven't read too much about what this is about because I like to go into these types of stories blind, but I've heard that this is very like whimsical, fairy tale-esque, and I am just excited about this. I'm really excited. I've heard nothing but good things. I believe too that this is an adult fantasy as well. It takes place in Russia, and this is just, it just looks beautiful. So I'm pretty stoked about this. And the last book that I have, I actually got from that same independent bookstore, and that book is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and this is the 10th anniversary special edition of this book. So I already have the paperback of this, but I have been meaning to get this because I believe there's illustrations in here, and this cover is everything. Like, do you guys see this? This is amazing. I have heard so many people rave about this book and Patrick Rothfuss in general as an author. Like, he's apparently such an amazing author, and this story is amazing fantasy. It's a high fantasy novel, and I am so excited to read this. It has such gorgeous illustrations. Like, these illustrations are everything. I'm so excited to read this. Also, I just want to say too that this edition of this book was really expensive, but I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad about it because I'm excited. Also, look at these red pages. This book is just beautiful. This is just a beautiful book. So those are all the books that I got in February. I also want to mention too that I did pre-order quite a bit of books this month, which is interesting because I don't actually pre-order books, or like I hadn't pre-ordered books in the past. So I don't want to tell you guys everything that I pre-ordered, but I pre-ordered, I think, at least 5 books. So yeah, I didn't really buy a whole lot of physical books that are out now, but let me tell you, I did pre-order like at least 5 books this month. So those will come soon. But that was my haul. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a legendary thumbs up. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!